She left her jacket behind, and with it, a reason to return. It was a simple denim jacket, faded in all the right places, with a small, embroidered sunflower on the collar. I found it draped over the back of the chair she'd been sitting in at the coffee shop. I almost didn't notice it. My shift was ending, and all I could think about was heading home. But then, a glint of something metallic caught my eye. A pin on the lapel. A tiny, silver rocket ship. I remembered her. How could I forget? She'd ordered a black coffee and a croissant, but her eyes were what I recalled most vividly. They were the color of a forest just after it rains, and they held a universe of stories I wanted to explore. We'd only spoken for a minute. The usual, customer barista exchange. "Have a good day," I'd said. "You too," she'd replied, with a smile that could power a small city. Now, holding her jacket, it felt like I was holding a piece of that smile. I checked the pockets, hoping for a name, a number, anything. All I found was a crumpled ticket stub from a movie that came out last month and a single, perfectly smooth seashell. A seashell in the middle of the city. It made no sense. And yet, it felt right. It felt like her. My boss told me to just put it in the lost and found box. "Someone will claim it, or they won't," he said with a shrug. But this felt different. This wasn't just a lost item. It felt like a message, a promise. So, I didn't put it in the box. It took it home. It sounds crazy. I know. It probably was. I hung it carefully on the back of my door, and every time I looked at it, I thought about her. I replayed our brief conversation in my head, searching for clues I might have missed. Did she mention where she worked? Where she was from? Nothing. Just that smile and those forest green eyes. The jacket smelled faintly of cinnamon and old books, a combination that was strangely intoxicating. For the next few days, every time the bell on the coffee shop door chimed, my head would snap up, my heart doing a little flip. I started paying more attention to the customers, hoping to see a familiar face, a flash of green eyes. I described her to my co-workers, but my descriptions were vague and poetic. She looked like a forgotten song, I'd say, which earned me a lot of strange looks. How do you describe a feeling? How do you explain that a complete stranger felt like a missing piece of your own story? A week went by. Then two. The jacket was still hanging on my door. I started to lose hope. Maybe she was just passing through town. Maybe she had a dozen jackets just like it. Maybe she hadn't even noticed it was gone. The thought was deflating. The silver rocket ship pin seemed to mock me, a symbol of a journey that was never meant to be mine. I decided that if she didn't come back by the end of the month, I would donate the jacket. It was the sensible thing to do. It was a Tuesday, the day before my self-imposed deadline. The rain was coming down in sheets, and the shop was nearly empty. I was wiping down the counter, lost in thought, when the bell chimed. I didn't even look up at first. "I'll be right with you," I said, my voice tired. "No rush," a soft voice replied. "I'm just hoping you might have found something." My head shot up. It was her. She was soaked from the rain, her hair plastered to her forehead, but it was unmistakably her. Her eyes, somehow even greener today, scanned the room before landing on me. Found what?" I stammered, my brain short-circuiting. She gave a small, almost shy smile. "A jacket, a denim one. I think I left it here a few weeks ago." I couldn't help but grin. It was a ridiculously wide, stupid grin, but I couldn't stop it. "A denim jacket," I repeated slowly, with a sunflower on the collar. Her face lit up. "Yes, and a little rocket ship pin, and a seashell in the pocket," I added, my voice barely a whisper. Her eyes widened in surprise. "You found it?" I nodded, my heart thumping against my ribs like a drum solo. "I did, but it's not here." Her face fell. "Oh, I guess you gave it away." "That's okay. I really loved that jacket." No, I said quickly. "I didn't give it away." "Primera ave italiano. It's at my place. I kept it safe for you." She blinked, a mixture of confusion and relief on her face. "You took it home?" "I know it's weird," I rushed to explain, "but I just had this feeling. that it was important, that you'd come back for it. A slow smile spread across her face, the one I remembered, the one that could power a city.
I did come back for it,
she said softly. I almost didn't. I kept telling myself it was just a jacket. But it was my favorite, and I was hoping. She trailed off, biting her lip. Hoping what? I prompted gently. I was hoping the cute barista who told me to have a good day might be the one who found it. The world seemed to stop for a second. The sound of the rain, the hum of the espresso machine, it all faded away. It was justos, in our own little bubble. Well, I said, finally finding my voice, it seems like your hope wasn't misplaced. I wrote my number on a napkin, my hand shaking slightly. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Maybe I could return your jacket to you. Over another coffee, perhaps. She took the napkin, her fingers brushing against mine. The contact sent a spark straight through me. I'd like that, she said, her voice warm. My name is Lily, by the way. I'm Alex, I replied. It's nice to finally meet you, Lily. She laughed, a sound like wind chimes. It's nice to finally meet you too, Alex. She left her jacket behind, and with it, she left a reason to return. But what I realized in that moment was that she hadn't just come back for a jacket, and I hadn't just been waiting to return it. We had both been waiting for this, for the beginning of a new story, a story that started with a lost jacket, a silver rocket ship, and the promise of another coffee. And as I watched her take a seat at her old table, I knew, with absolute certainty, that this was a story I wanted to read until the very last page. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this little tale, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.